Hello all, Zingier Barbecue here, and this is my support Guardian build, and this is perhaps my favorite build I've ever played in this game. And my friend and I were talking about the Guardian, and what are they supposed to be doing, and I think the Guardian's at its max potential when it is a support. And a support doesn't necessarily just mean healer. Yes, I can heal, but I am not a designated full healer. I'm a group support. And my method of supporting is with a little bit of heals, but mainly Condi clears and boon duration. As you see on my bar, I have all shouts, and all of them, except for my heal, give boons to my allies. I'm going to go through my weapons, my abilities, and I'll show you how I thought of this build and the talents or specialization traits that make it work. So let's go over what the Guardian gets automatically, and these are his little virtues. Virtue of Justice makes it so every 3 attacks you burn the enemy, which is fine if you're doing damage, but for supporting, you doing a tiny insignificant bit of damage is insignificant. So I trade it later on to lower the cooldown of these virtues and for them to each give boons. So this grants might and retaliation. So that makes it worth it. And it grants burning to all allies, so they all get an attack that burns. Ups our DPS. Virtue of Resolve, I specialized it so it removes 3 conditions, grants regen and retaliation. This is very good in times where you need a mass Condi cleanse, and it gives a nice burst heal. Very strong. For Virtue of Courage, gives me an Aegis every 30 seconds, but I don't care about that. If I activate it, it gives Aegis to everyone in my group around me, gives them protection, stability, retaliation, and stun breaks everyone in an AoE, which can save a team. And Fractals in PvP, this build is amazing, especially in PvP when a Chrono puts down his elite skill well. You activate that and your team just walks out scot-free, and it's not even your elite skill. The weapon of choice, I go staff. However, I currently do not have my other ascended staff, so I will go over what would happen if I did. And I apologize for not being able to show you the full potential of this build, but you can just imagine it. I apologize in advance. So our 1 skill does some damage. It's whatever. AoE. Orb of Light, our number 2, you kind of want to spam this. It heals people. If they're needing a bit more, you can activate it and it detonates and does a lot more healing. However, it goes on a longer cooldown. Your 3 skill does AoE damage and is a combo field light, and it grants swiftness to everyone around you, which is, you want to be spamming this too, not just for the swiftness, but boons are very important to you as a character. So I'll go over that in specializations also. Empower, the best part of staff. A big heal, long channel time though. You heal for about 3k, and you give 12 stacks of might. And when this build is done, without any food or anything else like that, you will have 100% boon duration. So this might will be on a 20-second uptime. Line of Warding, very good in PvP, not so good in PvE. There's a few times where you will use it, but it's pretty it just makes a little line and enemies can't cross it. Your heal, Receive the Light. All of these shouts are on a shorter cooldown thanks to our traits. And all of them convert a condition into a boon. So right here, that's 5 Condi cleanses. So this heals a very decent amount in a cone in front of you. So you want to make sure you're aiming it at your allies. Don't try to use this on yourself. You have plenty of heals for yourself through specializations. Stand Your Ground grants retaliation and stability, and removes conditions and stun breaks yourself. So this you spam when you see crowd control incoming on your team. DPS uptime is a thing, but this will help. Hold the Line grants protection and regeneration. Use this when your team gets lowish, like half health. It will boost them up, keep that protection on them. Retreat, I pretty much spam this because it has a decently long cooldown, but it gives everyone a block. and especially in boss fights, one block can save someone's life. And it converts conditions. Feel My Wrath. This is where I thought this build would be amazing, and that is, when this build is done, you will have a 10-second lasting quickness and a 20-second long fury on a 36-second cooldown. So chronos have you beat when it comes to putting down just one big quickness, but it has a long cooldown. You will be able to spam your quickness throughout a raid fight, throughout any prolonged boss fight, anything. You will be able to have a consistent quickness up, and that is what I really like about this build. I'll just show you what happens when I activate all my buffs at once.
Oh, it's on now.
Oh, it's on now. Look at all these boons. Now, Rangers, Ellies, and I think Warriors can get a trait that allows them to get damage based on the amount of boons they have, which is amazing when you're running this build. My friends run it, and they notice, like, they get 9% damage increase. And you don't need the Warriors that give lots of might, because you give plenty of might, and this isn't even the potential. Like, this is barely any of the boon duration we'll be able to get. So, when I've thought of this build, I saw the minstrel gear, and I was like, how do I make use of this? I saw the Feel My Wrath, and was like, I need to do this. So I'm going to be using full minstrel gear where I can, and I will be getting Rune of Water for boon duration. So right now, our boon duration is 41.79%, which is amazing. It will be 100% when we're done, and our retaliation is increased even more from our specializations. So for my weapon, I use Superior Sigil of Concentration and a Freshwater Pearl, which is like a little minstrel. But the Superior Sigil of Concentration, once you get another staff and another Sigil of Concentration, yes, I know it costs a lot, but if you really want to just get the full potential of boons on a Guardian, I feel like this is the best way. You swap weapons every time you can, apply all your boons, and they will last an insane amount of time. And I love it. The playstyle, just being super, super tanky, being able to heal your allies, give them boons. It's just so fun to me. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. So for our specializations, we go into Valor, Honor, and Virtues. And the first one is gain Aegis when you're struck below a health threshold. Just a free Aegis for you. Tankiness, good. Loose conditions at a set interval. And you do more damage when you're down. So every 10 seconds you'll lose a condition, so you don't need to waste your Condi clears on you. Virtue of Courage is recharged when you revive an ally, or when you are revived. So Virtue of Courage, let's say you stun break your team, but someone still goes down. You get them up, and then your stun break is immediately reset. It's really strong. Strength in Numbers gives everyone in your party, a little oomph of toughness. It really helps. I just really like this. It's like a boon for everyone. Gain Might when you block. It's whatever. Gives it to you. Now, this is one of the best things. Applying a boon to allies heals you. Every single boon, even if it's just one stack of might, heals you. So you can go in first. You almost act as a tank also with this build. So you go in and just applying Empower. So that's 5 targets times 12, and each one of those is healing you for about 82, 83. And that it's going to bring you down from like 10% health to full health just from the Empower, because it heals at the end. Every boon you give is going to be giving you health. Let's go into Honor. Gain Vigor when you deliver crit. You're going to be critting, getting Vigor. It's whatever. Activate, create a dome around you that pulses behind, blah, blah. So you create a little dome whenever you revive someone. And it increases your revive speed, so it helps you get people up, which helps with getting your courage back. And it also, when you get the person up, gives them some nice protection, regeneration, and Aegis. So it blocks their next attack. The end of your dodge roll heals nearby allies, so you're going to be dodging quite often, and you get the Vigor to heal people. It's very strong. Boon duration is increased while wielding a staff. and the staff recharges cooldowns are reduced by 20%. So my boon duration, I'm getting a free 20% and a reduced cooldown. So my Empower is going to be lasting 20 seconds when I'm full build, and it's going to have a 16-second cooldown, which means I'll be able to have perma 12 stacks of Might plus, and I'll also have Might from Virtue of Justice. It's going to be quite amazing. Your Virtue of Resolve passive also increases my Endurance. Endurance is okay, yeah, it's going to be giving me some Endurance, which helps me dodge. It's not the best. Allies affected by shouts have conditions converted into boons, and shout abilities reduce their recharge, your cooldown. And all my build is shouts, so this is the best. Even against no conditions, I like having reduced cooldowns on my shouts. And it what I said in the Necro build, it converts a certain condition into a certain boon. It's not going to be a random boon from a random condition. It's going to be like Burning grants Aegis. Poison grants Regen. So if you want to go to the wiki, you can see which boon gets which Condi gets converted into which boon. So then we go into virtues, because lots of our boons come from our virtues also. Virtues apply the following boons to allies when activated. That's how I get the Might, Regen, and Protection on these three, which is very nice. Gain Retal and Aegis when stunned. This just helps me, be a little more tanky. Gain Regeneration or Retaliation when I apply a virtue, and Retaliation lasts longer. So I'm going to be giving a lot of Retaliation to my team. And Retaliation against certain enemies, it just does a whole lot of damage. It's amazing. Activating Virtue of Resolve removes conditions from nearby allies. This is how I get the 3 Condi cleanses from just my Virtue of Resolve, and it's amazing. I've saved quite a few people with that skill alone. I deal extra damage for each boon on me, and my virtues recharge faster, so I get more boons from them because shorter cooldown, and I get a little more damage. I'm not going to be doing that much at all. It's probably the lowest damage out of any build I've made. This is where I get my stun break, so whenever I activate Virtue of Courage, I get the stability to everyone, and I get the stun break for everyone. So this is my favorite build out of any build I've ever made, and me and my friend Rhoda are able to, duo any fractal pretty much, because I can buff him and his minions, and it's just so much fun, at least for me. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'll show the buffs one more time. Look at all those boons. Just can't wait to get the full boon duration, and then I'll make some more videos. This is the character I run most of my fractals on. So I apologize. I will try to get some Thief fractal gameplay out. I am unfortunately going to announce I deleted my Necro Healer in order to play with my friend. However, I ended up making a Thief instead. So I hope to one day bring my Necro Healer back, but I will not be having any more gameplay of him for a while. But I will be making some gameplay of Thief, but I hopefully will be making a lot of this. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoy your gaming experiences and have a great day.